Are you ready to trim it, mow it, cut it or clean it? Get your backyard ready for summer with Black & Decker electric garden tools. Like the cordless lawnmower kit with 2 batteries for only $3.99. Exclusive to Mitre 10.
I'm crossing the bridge to the North Shore. So I'm here in the city at the moment. On my way to the North Shore. It's a bit gloomy day. Hopefully there's no fog on the Harbour Bridge. We'll see the Harbour Bridge of Auckland, guys, crossing to the North Shore. See the sign? Harbour Bridge, wind, gust, take extra care.
Upcycle your land with Green Homes to build quality energy efficient.
Taxis still operating whatever the alert level. As we count down to the big announcement at 10, epidemiologist Rod Jackson believes there's no doubt most New Zealanders will get COVID. The New Zealand Islamic Women's Council is welcoming a new inquiry into the mosque shootings, saying they want to know how the terrorist came to be radicalised. Police say Australia's latest batch of 501
That's the Harbour Bridge, guys.
will resume next month when Australia reopens its borders after the deportations were put on hold 3 months ago. Auckland's long-standing water restrictions come off tomorrow after the city saved more than 20 billion litres of water over the last 18 months or so. And Auckland Council's putting out 10 tips to get through Labour weekend under COVID restrictions, including if you're planning to catch up with another bubble, it needs to be outside with as much less chance of contagion. The capital's famous bucket fountain is missing one of its yellow buckets, the same one that disappeared in 2016. Council says it can be returned, no questions asked. What Auckland needs most today, read ACT leader David Seymour's comment at NZ Herald Press. Back to Kieran McCarthy.
Thank you, Malcolm. Yes,
That's the bridge.
so lovely.
On top of the bridge,
I don't
guys.
read any of them out,
That's the view.
but you read my mind. Hello, Mary. Listening, Kerry. Well, we're talking about my favourite subject in aged care. I have talked to you before. Yeah. And my mother's in a care facility in Cambridge with dementia, so we don't have the benefit of Zoom calls or being able to chat to her remotely. And yesterday I had a phone call from them telling me that she's had a fall. And, you know, it's quite... I felt so sorry for the previous...
This is the North Shore already.
Because when you can't go and visit them, you know, you rely completely on what's being told to you and that it's true. And you know, they've just become the forgotten victims, all these rest home people. And they're locked up. No family are visiting, so you don't have that, you know, connection or the fact that you can reassure yourself that they're well and they're happy. You've just got to trust in the system. And my mother's been in care now for nearly 12 years, and I've learned the system is actually flawed. And there's you know, they do best, particularly the staff. I've said this to you before. But at the end of the day, these huge corporations are all about their shareholders, the bottom line, and you know, they've got people coming in from the Philippines, and even that stopped now because they can't get the staff, and any staff that are any good, they're being picked up by the DHB. So, you know, go and see my mother for half an hour, check her and just reassure the family that all is well. But these guys that have been locked up for 10 longer, 10 weeks, you know, I feel so sorry for the lady that rang me first. I'd heard her before and thought, oh, at least my mother doesn't know that we're not visiting her, but we know as a family, we're aware, you know.
Does she get any comfort from the visits at all, do you think?
Some days she does, and some days you can take a bunch of flowers and you get some feedback, but it's pretty rare, to be fair. But it's good for us. You know, we need it.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, Jacinda she's so focused on being the first country to, I don't know, to eradicate but this is a virus, Kerry, and she's fighting a viral disease that we're going to have to learn to live with. And all of us, we're all vaccinated. And my 98-year-old mother, I know what she'd say. She was so forthright. She would say, come and visit me. I'm 98. I haven't got long. You know, I'd rather see people. And for those residents that are aware and know what's going on around us, it must be pretty depressing. And it's very rare in a rest home. I've done a lot of research about this. It's rare to have diversional therapists and activities and a lot going on. And now they've got no reason to do it because they're locked in and they can't bring these people in to entertain or them out on bus trips or have a high tea party outside. You know, why can't we go and visit them and sit outside with them or take them for a stroll in a wheelchair through the garden? This is just ridiculous.
It does sound like some retirement villages and rest homes have been quietly going about doing this over the last few weeks. I'm getting texts from people saying, that they've just been...
They have been doing it on the fly. Yeah. Good on them.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like we were told today, oh yes, of course you can come and see your mother for half an hour. Well, big deal. You know, we should be able to see her whenever we want to see her. She turned 98, Kerry, 2 weeks ago, and none of us could be there.
Yeah.
And I really feel for the residents, not necessarily mum because of the dementia, but there's people in there that are sharp, that are still, you know, they've lived a great life.
Yeah.
How sad for them.
And want to keep living a great life.
Yes, and interesting people. I mean, I often go and I just end up talking to other people and mum sits there quietly.
Yeah.
You know, there's some real characters, and I just think we've forgotten about them. And just a quick question, and I'd be interested to see if anyone knows about this. Do you remember that they actually announced an aged care
I'm here at
ombudsman
Takapuna.
at the beginning of
The
the
Takapuna
year
beach
or
here.
halfway through last year? Someone to oversee.
Yeah.
Where is this person? Who is this person? And what are they doing, Kerry? Any clues?
Chief Ombudsman does, but no, they were talking about a specific one, weren't they? Because they have them in Australia in every state. Yeah.
And it's been pushed under the carpet, and until recently I've discovered also audits aren't done on rest homes very regularly. It's like 3 to 4 years, and all rest homes are warned that the auditors are coming in.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge problem in our rest home and aged care.
Yeah, we've certainly covered those off, haven't we? Mary, thank you. Good point. I'll see if I can find out. For God's sake, Kerry, why would your station allow that statement by Rod Jackson to be made in the latest headlines? I'm worried enough now about where my life is heading. Then to hear he believes every New Zealander will get COVID has made me feel physically ill. I'm double vaccinated and now feel like I'm living in a perpetual nightmare. I know the headlines have been shocking, some of them. Like, we'll be in lockdown till Christmas, I think was Monday's one, which just made me want to scream. Yeah. I mean, they're reckons. They're reckons from people. And look, the chances are most people will be absolutely fine when they get COVID. When and if they get COVID. Most people will, even in the most dire, age groups where people are elderly and they've got comorbidities, there's still every chance you'll survive. And I've been saying this all the way through. With the double vaccination, you probably won't even notice that you've had it. So I don't blame you for being fearful, given that's what we've been beaten with a great big stick. But if you're double vaxxed, you probably won't even know. And you may have even had it already and not known. So some people it will affect very, very badly. And they will end up in hospital. But if you're double vaxxed, the chances of you ending up in hospital are absolutely minimal. News Talk ZB is 17 to 10.
For thousands of years, cultures from all around the globe have recognized the all-natural goodness of plant pollen to support energy levels. And now thousands of Kiwis are discovering the power-packed benefits of Nature Bee Power Pollen, with its near-perfect combination of proteins, minerals and vitamins to support well-being in the modern world. If you haven't tried this incredible product yet, there's never been a better time. With a 100% money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. Give it a go. Order a 3-month supply of Nature Bee Power Pollen for only $69.95 plus postage, and we will include 2 pieces of our pollen and honey soap as a bonus. Call 0800 474 474 or order it online today at naturebee.com. Remember, take as directed and always read the label. Nature Bee NZ Limited, Auckland.
When it comes to personalised loans, it's not the what, but the how. Finance How, finance now. So whatever your finance how, go online to financenow.co.nz or call them on 0800 299 399 now. Terms, conditions and lending criteria apply.
What's the occasion? Let us know. Come on into the bottle.
Going down to the base.
Have a long white this long weekend, thanks to the Bottle-O. This Thursday to Sunday, long white 10-pack bottles just $24.99 each. Yep, long white 10-pack bottles $24.99 at the Bottle-O.
Make it a wide spirit of beer. I see the choice is here. What's the occasion? Let us know. Come on into the bottle.
All your Halloween costumes, props and decorations, even your everyday essentials are online at Look Sharp Store. Order before midday and click and collect your order the same day. 7 days a week.
Playground here.
Online at looksharpstore.co.nz.
If you want to increase your income returns and grow your investment portfolio, think of Coastal Cabins, who now offer the opportunity to invest in a managed rental unit. With 12% annual returns paid monthly and backed by substantial security, this is a great opportunity to get your money working for you with one of New Zealand's largest portable cabin manufacturers. The cabins are already rented and tenanted, so get more information today by calling Coastal Cabins at 0800 422 2469 or email invest@coastalcabins.co.nz.
Take time to pause and enjoy this long weekend with 25 to 50% off store-wide and huge 60% off deals at Briscoe's Labour Weekend Sale. Ends Monday. See online for TCs and exclusions.
It's Kerry McIver Morning with Fresh Start by My Food Bag. Achieve your goals the delicious way. Call 0800 80 1080. News Talk ZB.
Terry, good morning to you.
Hi, Kerry, how you going?
Good, thank you.
No, all good. Now, just as I said, with further to that text that I sent in, they've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. I won't mention names or anything like that, but they've just been doing it for a couple of weeks. And the family, they made inquiries, as I say, a couple of weeks ago, and they said, look, we've had quite a few inquiries from people, providing you double jab, you've asked up, and like I said, they've been, phoning mum, but, they haven't been able to go and see her, and people just think that, it's a good idea. What's wrong with it? You're double jabbed, you're masked up, you're doing it outside initially, and I think it'll go further than that once the next, couple of weeks opens up and that,
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're only too pleased to do it. They really are, as the chap said that brings the Ryman care place that you talked to earlier. And it's just, is it just not common sense and logic,
Well, it is, and we've got to be, trusted to start using that. Not, I don't mean individuals, because we've seen that some individuals simply cannot be, but when you have an organisation who has the best interests of its residents at heart, surely they can be trusted to do the right thing by them.
And that's the big tick in that, for them to say that, and they're bringing it forward. They're just saying, hey, here we are, we can do this, and like you say, they've got enough knowledge, they've run, healthcare coaches and that, they know that, especially immediate family, ain't going to be doing anything silly with their own family, so. Yeah. I think it's just, and it's the whole, it's a big step, a small step, but a big step in a lot of ways. And if everyone got that on board and everyone done the same sort of thing and took that initiative, you know, we'd be going a long, long, long way instead of being chalked down to like 5-year-olds and, you know, we can't do this and we can't do that. You know, we've had the fear of God put up for us for the last 18 months or so and that. And yeah, sure, some of it's been warranted, you know, as you say, but most of it, I'm afraid to say, as you say, we're all grown adults and that. And to those 59 or 60% that voted for it, well done.
Thanks, Terry. Yeah, I have no great hope or anticipation. I really hope I'm pleasantly surprised after 10 o'clock. Terry, so many people have already had COVID and didn't realise it. In the last 12 months, I personally know several people who had cold and flu symptoms. A few were bedridden, they didn't get tested, and because there was no COVID in the community, they thought that was just the flu. Second point is the daily testing numbers are so low in Auckland, there must be at least another 100 cases around. Here at time, we chose our own words to describe COVID. I'm over the spin of keeping safe. Road barriers keep us safe from cliffs. We need to be saying keep well, keep our kids and our elderly well, and skip the fear factor that this government loves to use. As an aside, elderly care has become a prison, sadly. Kerry, my brother's family in Europe, 3 of them have 3 different types of vaccination against COVID. The daughter is not vaccinated, 18 years old, and she has severe symptoms, very close to hospitalisation. The 3 others have no symptoms at all. Another says, Kerry, at 10 a.m. we'll be told by the government it's up to us to get us out of the lockdown. They will not take any blame. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Kerry. I'm sitting here listening and I'm thinking I'm in my 70s. And my original family came out in the original ships. So think about the risks they took and think about all those terrible colonialists who've done such terrible things for New Zealand. Think of the risks they took and think of what our genetic makeup is. And I'm appalled that these people that are in rest homes or retirement villages grew up with risks. We could stand on the edge of a cliff, we could row a boat, we could do whatever we liked. And now we're, you know, it's just, how on earth have we got to this? We're actually having to obey all these rules, whether they're good or bad, and I'm not a rule breaker. But I just, you know, my growing up, my ability to take risks, my ability to make my own decisions, and all these people I could have moved from a retirement village. I could now be stuck in a retirement village, and I wouldn't be able to see my family.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yeah, indeed. Hopefully we'll find out. News Talk ZB, thanks Robin, it's 9 to 10.
COVID-19 can make it hard to keep on top of things you are normally able to take care of. The restrictions may mean you need some extra support. This could be for paying essential bills or putting a little pie on the table. To find out what's available, call 0800 559 009 from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday. Or go to covid19.govt.nz/financial support.
Lost in the Sahara Desert, Lars has a craving. Water! Thanks to Salesforce Customer 360, the teams at Hydration Nation come to the rescue. The marketing team offers him a selection.
Bubbly?
And the service team suggests an upgrade.
Oh, raspberry.
With Salesforce Customer 360, all your teams unite around Lars to make him a happy, hydrated customer. Learn how to succeed from anywhere at salesforce.com/au/360. With a TSB home loan, you'll get a low rate because we'll beat any ANZ, ASB, BNZ or Westpac nationally advertised fixed home loan rate. Talk to us today and feel good about supporting New Zealand. Offer available until 30 November 2021. Minimum $100,000 new lending. TSB standard lending criteria, terms and conditions and fees apply. See tsb.co.nz for details.
If you want
Want to increase your income returns and grow your investment portfolio? Think of Coastal Cabin, who now offer the opportunity to invest in a managed rental unit with 12% annual returns paid monthly and backed by substantial security. This is a great opportunity to get your money working for you with one of New Zealand's largest portable cabin manufacturers.
The direction of our government is regarding lockdown and COVID.
At 0800 422 2469.
Because the numbers are increasing at the moment. It's like 100 cases a day.
Your garden sorted for spring with Palmer's. Palmer's have plants and garden essentials ready to order and collect contactlessly. To place your order, call your local Palmer's store or head to palmers.co.nz for more information.
Palmer's will get you growing.
This week at Fruit World, grab some delicious savings. NZ Jumbo Blueberries, $5.99 a punnet, and NZ Trust and Hot House Tomatoes, $7.99 a kilo.
A texter says, Kerry, is it too early to pour a drink at 10 a.m? You're asking me? Basically, if you're asking me, then you know the answer. It's not too early. You're not going to be driving, it's not going to turn you into a monster. You sit down and pour yourself a little something while you listen at 10 a.m. Shane says, I'm only 46, Kerry, but I know I'd rather die tomorrow with my family around than die after a year of being alone. Absolutely. Does COVID shock in a test if you've had it in the past? Says David, no. And the immunity against it only lasts a certain while as well. I've had two relatives pass in rest homes during the lockdown. One from the RSV virus was rampant, but not publicised. Neither had a proper farewell, and it's very hard on the family. At what point does the cure become worse than the disease? Quite right. And yeah, bloody inhuman. Thank goodness they had enough sense to let the youth back to school before the majority of them just gave up altogether. Some of the schools are deciding that it'll be too disruptive. Their online programs they've got up and working are working well. So a couple of Auckland schools have decided they will keep on with their online programs. But again, it should be the decision of the school. They know what was best for their community and their pupils, in the same way that the aged care facilities know what was best for their people and their communities. So we are heading up to 10 o'clock and like you, I'll be spellbound, riveted to the radio, and then we can all meet and discuss afterwards. Please let there be something for the people who are doing it so tough. 660 is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of their gold album by releasing new remixed and remastered versions of the album. It also features two re-recorded and never before released tracks. Choice chosen. Come with me around.
Here at the base. So on my right hand side is the sea.
Green Lane Christian Centre. He is going to be talking about the Gospel of John, and that's just after 10 o'clock. And then in the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking the
sustainability with Reece Taylor, who runs sustainableliving.org.nz. He's going to be talking, practical tips about how you can be more sustainable in your home.
All that plus all the other computer notifications that seem to want to come through at the same time this morning. So yeah, here's what we'll do. Thanks, Kat. As for us, well, we're back on Monday anyway, but we're doing kind of a simpler show on Monday because it is Labor Day. So yeah.
We are playing actually a couple of Max Powell interviews on Monday, so looking forward to saying those to you.
But that's all from us for today. So we'll leave you in the capable hands of the Tomcat Show. Catch you Monday.
After crashing and settling for a heartbreaking fourth in Tokyo, rider Corbin Strong says they quickly switched focus to Birmingham.
It didn't take long after the team pursued the Olympics for us to start talking about the Commonwealth Games as a redemption event. So yeah, there's definitely some hunger there in the team.
Strong will ride in the points race at the Track Cycling World Championships in France this weekend. And Kiwi golfer Daniel Hillier has stormed into contention at the latest European Challenge Tour event in Spain. The 22-year-old fired a 9-under par 62 to sit 2 shots off the pace, heading into the final day of the Challenge Costa Brava. Hillier's third round was the best of the day, carding a rare albatross on the second hole, then striking 8 birdies before dropping his only shot on the 17th hole. Hillier is looking on track to qualify for the top 45 season-ending tour final, which could earn him a chance to secure a full European tour card for next season. It's 9:59. I'm Melanie Homer with Magic Talk, leading New Zealand's conversation.
Magic weather with Watercare. Water looks after us, so let's look after water. Watercare.
Scattered rain should clear throughout the morning, becoming mainly fine for Auckland. 18 the high, getting down to 13 overnight. Tomorrow mostly cloudy with the odd shower or two, and a high expected of around 17 degrees.
Right now on 100.6 FM, it's the greatest hits of all time on Magic Music. Here on 702 AM, leading New Zealand's conversation, it's Magic Talk, Magic Mornings with Sanderson Vitamins, online from pharmacydirect.co.nz.
10 o'clock. Well, we went with the news a little bit earlier. If you're just tuning in, we are waiting on the update on the future of the COVID response. The protection framework as teased to us on Monday. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, will very shortly be taking the podium, along with her Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, Grant Robertson. We've got the COVID-19 Response Minister, Chris Hipkins, and also the Associate Health Minister, Pena Henare. We'll all be talking, so it's going to be a biggie. All the big guns, the A-team, if you will be heading to the podium. We will be taking it live here at Magic Talk. In fact, I think she's ready. Back shortly.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Today, I'm speaking directly to all New Zealanders to share a plan that will help us stay safe from COVID-19 into the future. A future where we want to continue to protect people's lives, but also to live our lives as safely as possible. Our announcements today are in 3 parts. I'll start by setting out the new framework we will use to help us minimise the impact of COVID-19 and protect ourselves. The second part is the economic support package we will use to especially support Auckland businesses as we transition. Minister Robertson will speak to that. Minister Cephaloni has also today set out an extension to our hardship assistance package for families on low incomes. And finally, given the importance of high vaccine rates across all communities, Minister Henare will set out a plan to accelerate Māori vaccination rates. In March last year, when I announced our alert level system, I said that the world had changed, and quickly. But we carved our own path then, and now we can do that again. Our focus on elimination kept us free from COVID for much of the past 18 months, at a time when our population was vulnerable to this virus. It kept our case numbers low and our hospitals from being swamped. Our economy held up well and unemployment stayed low. We can rightfully be proud of what our world-leading response has achieved. But two things have changed since then. The first is that Delta has made it very hard to maintain our elimination strategy. Its tentacles have reached into our communities and made it hard to shake, even using the best public health measures and the toughest restrictions we had available to us. But right as our long-standing strategy was challenged, we also had a new tool, one that means as COVID has changed, we could change too. And rather than being locked down, we could move forward safely and with confidence. That tool is the vaccine. The vaccine we are using in New Zealand is safe and effective. If you are vaccinated, it means that you are less likely to catch the virus and much less likely to end up in hospital if you do. It also helps protect everyone. The more people who are vaccinated, the harder it is for COVID to spread through communities quickly and find our most vulnerable. That means while we used to say that we needed to stay home to save lives, we now need to be vaccinated to save lives. And this is where New Zealand has the chance to continue to carve our own path. Very few countries have had the opportunity to vaccinate people before COVID was in every corner of their communities. We can. Once we have done that, we then need to make sure we keep using that tool to protect ourselves as we gradually and carefully open up. Not all countries have had that chance, and some have opened up with vaccines very quickly or without any other public health measures in place. Our plan will do things differently. That's because our goal, based on the advice of Professor David Skegg and the Public Health Advisory Group, is to minimise and protect. Minimisation means that we are aiming to keep the spread of COVID-19 as low as possible. That while there will be some level of cases in the community on an ongoing basis, we will work to contain and control any outbreaks, and if practical to do so, stamp them out. Protection means that we won't just treat COVID like a seasonal illness. We will protect people from it with vaccination, management, and a response that focuses on minimising the significant health impacts we know it can have. But how will we make our strategy to minimise COVID and protect people work, whilst also making sure that we keep moving forward? The first step is with high vaccination rates. You'll know that we're being resistant to setting a target. We didn't want to leave anyone behind, and we still don't. But we need to give everyone, and especially Aucklanders, certainty over when it will be safe enough to transition to a new system. One where we can give more freedoms to those who are vaccinated. We've looked at all of the evidence, talked to experts, looked at modelling for our situation, and set a target of 90% fully vaccinated for each DHB in New Zealand. The reason we're focused on each DHB is because we need every region to be highly vaccinated. And by focusing on DHBs, we also make sure we get more equitable outcomes. And when every DHB reaches this target, that is when we'll move into a new framework called the COVID-19 Protection Framework. Let me tell you how this new system will work. Similar to our current alert level system.
Guys, I'm almost here in my destination. So, came from the Auckland City, drove to the North Shore, passed by the base, and while listening to our Prime Minister about our plans for COVID-19. So, key here is vaccination. I'm fully vaxxed. Hopefully 90% target vaccination will be achieved straight away. All good, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to our Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Keep safe.